Trisha and I made Killing the Messenger because we really feel strongly about the need to support journalism and journalists, and the value of a free press cannot be understated. So we set out to make a film because we felt like the story of the violent censorship of journalists and the impunity that allows that condition to exist was sort of under-recognized in the public sector. I think among journalists, of course, people are very aware in the journalism community of the threats being dealt with on a daily basis by journalists around the world. But we felt like we wanted to make a film that expressed that to the public. There are three main catalysts to the impunity and to the dangers that are faced by journalists, and that would be combat or conflict, and then crime and corruption. So we looked to countries where the threats being faced by journalists were predominantly driven by those things. So most people are familiar with journalists being under threat in a war zone. So we looked at combat, and our current, at the time when we made the film, of course, the current situations that were going on in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and Syria had just about started when we were in edit. And then we moved to crime and look at Mexico, which of course also deals with corruption. But we felt like, especially in America, the understanding of the threat of the cartels and the criminal element in Mexico made that a good resource for talking about the story of crime. And then corruption, at least in the West, we really view Russia as being sort of rife with corruption, and certainly the journalists who have been threatened and intimidated and violently attacked in Russia, most often reporting on corruption within politics. So those were the reasons for our choices. What we need to look at is acts of journalism and protecting journalism itself. That may mean protecting certain people, but getting into a debate over whether a blogger is a journalist or whether someone who happened to bear witness to something with their phone or with their camera without any journalistic training, that person should still be protected, or I should say that the story that they are working on or that they are participating in conveying is what needs to be protected. So we need to look at protecting acts of journalism and not being so concerned about who is or isn't qualified as a journalist. Soldiers returning home, whether we believe in the military or whether we are pro-war or anti-war, in the West we have this thing where we really look at those people as those who deserve our respect, and I see no reason why journalists shouldn't be afforded that same level of respect and consideration.